Oh my god, stop! Silence of the witnesses. Oh, it begins with a small silence. A hesitation. A breath withheld in the throat of a bystander. Then the pause, like a seed, grows into a forest of stillness. Stillness and nothingness. Soon, the silence has a bureaucracy, and an anthem, and a flag. It has committees and legal language to rationalize its stillness and nothingness. It has prayers and public statements of thoughts and condolences, also known as stillness and nothingness. On your knees! The silence becomes so vast that it no longer feels like silence at all. It feels like air. Like the natural atmosphere of life under empire. Stop. Oh my god, stop! The people breathe it in and out, in and out, in and out, without even noticing. This airless air, this carefully cultivated vacuum of accountability, and they call it peace. Oh, note to self, peace is something. Peace is something. Peace is sometimes only the moment when the screaming is done efficiently enough to go unheard. I've seen this silence in the eyes of police who take notes but never act. In the lips of politicians who mouth empathy like a rehearsed hymn, like they got it on their crest. Look, my family crest has empathy. Soon, in the posture of citizens who scroll past atrocities as if their thumbs could absolve them. The silence is not passive. It is an active machinery. It is the architecture of every genocide, every exploitation, every public death that becomes a footnote. The scholars call it omission. I call it murder in the subjunctive. But if only I had known. If only I had known. If only. But they did know. You do know. You know now. And you always knew. They always know. They just choose to perform amnesia because knowledge would require conscience, and conscience demands risk to being held accountable for what you've already done. Note to self, fear is the mother of apathy. Apathy is the father of tyranny. There is a word for this in old philosophy. Acrasia. The state of knowing the good but doing the opposite. Aristotle wrote of it, unable to understand why men act against their better selves, but we know now, they do it for comfort. Comfort is the most seductive form of possession. You can chain a man more effectively with convenience than with iron. Give him a screen, a salary, and a story where he is the hero, and he will sleep through his own moral collapse. It is no different from the priests who sanctified conquest, or the merchants who blessed slavery as commerce. Every silence has an excuse, and every excuse is a prayer to a false god. I walk through cities where the air hums with the unspoken, where neighbors close curtains while women disappear, where bureaucrats cite protocol as families freeze in shelters, where killers drive through intersections under the same sirens that should have stopped them. And I think the rot is not in the act, but in the refusal to name it. The rot is in the observer who says, I'm not involved. That phrase, more than any bullet or decree, has killed more souls than war. It is the motto of cowards who want the luxury of innocence without the burden of witness. Note to self, innocence is the final disguise of guilt. The city of Sault Ste. Marie sits like a metaphor for this rot. A quiet, snow-choked artery where the silence itself feels deliberate, cultivated. People speak of crime, corruption, infiltration, but always in whispers as though volume itself were dangerous. The authorities know, the citizens know, yet the only response is stillness and nothingness. No one wants to own the truth because the truth is heavy, and their hands are already full with debt, with fear, with the delay of decency, daily performance of virtue, and so the silence continues. Not as absence, but as orchestration, decoration. You see, silence has texture. It is layered like sediment built from centuries of unspoken complicity. The first layer is disbelief, then fatigue, and then the soft gray dust of indifference. Eventually it hardens into structure, law, order, normalcy. They call it concrete. Institutions rise from it like monuments. They're pillars made of everything that was not said. You know what I learned in life? No matter how hard you try, you can't turn concrete into a gemstone. You can't turn concrete into natural capital. And people come to Canada for the environment, not the concrete. They don't come to look at the concrete. They come to look at the natural capital, the gems. The silence is so sacred, to speak becomes blasphemy, and those who dare to speak like me are called mad, dangerous, criminal, not because we lied, but because we threatened to puncture the great illusion that keeps them sleeping. Note to self, every civilization has its priests of quiet. Their hymns are press releases. Their gospels, committee reports. So I say to my killers,
splits, high kicks, death drops, jumps, I do none of it.
Hi, ladies. How you doing?
I want to kill you!
Oh, yeah. Take a number, honey.